What's up guys, it is Jake from the Sanctum Squad. Today I'm going to be bringing you my Blue Eyes deck profile. I'm really excited about this deck. We've waited so long for this deck to come to the TCG, and we didn't even know if it was going to come to the TCG in the form of a structure deck like it did in the OCG, because they could easily have put the new cards in like a booster pack. But I'm really happy that it came out as a structure deck. Yeah, this is a version as well that is not, I'm not playing any Primite cards. I'm actually playing a Bystial Engine in the deck instead. The reason is it's not because I don't think the Primite cards are good. I think they're amazing. I think Beryl, Ether Beryl, Lordly Load and Draw Beam are all amazing. I think Draw Beam is a phenomenal card. The reason I'm not playing the Primite cards is because I don't want to buy them. I kind of missed my opportunity to buy the Primite cards when they were cheap. And I just don't want to buy cards that I'm only going to really use in like one deck, because I'm not really going to use the Primite Engine outside of this deck if I was to buy them. And I already have the Bystial cards, and they do synergize quite well with this deck because naturally it is a light dark dragon deck. So yeah, let's get into it, and I'll sort of explain the strategy as we go along. So for the first card we play free Sage. Sage is the best like starter in the deck, especially because we're not playing the Primite cards. You do always want to be normal summoning Sage. We've got like additional ways in this deck to search for Sage because there are quite a few searches for him. The reason why he's so good though is because he searches the next card. So Maiden is the new card out of the structure deck, and it's what gets the whole engine going. It places the trap straight out of the hand deck or graveyard onto the field, and then the trap card can search one of the new spells which searches. So that's how you sort of get things going. She also revives herself when you special summon Blue Eyes, which is really good because you can make an instant synchro. There are some combos as well that use her last effect. If she's targeted, you can actually revive her like a monster from the grave, and you can do combos from there. But what's really cool about this is that when you normal summon Sage, it searches for this card, or if you already have this card, it searches for Effect Veiler. This is really good because it just means that like no matter what happens in your combo, you've got this interaction at least. So yeah, this is sort of like the core of the Blue Eyes package. And then for the last monster in the Blue Eyes engine, we play one of the Neo Kaiser Seahorse. The reason why we play this is because we're playing Bestials. Your strategy does revolve a lot around MAGNAMHUT, and it's important that you have a level 4 or lower dragon that MAGNAMHUT can search, that you can turn into the Link monster on turn 3, and this card lets you do that. It also lets you make Bystial Dispater with the Bestial monsters because it is a level 4 tuner. Yeah, this card's very cool. I do like it. I wasn't playing it initially, but like after sort of like playing with the deck a lot and like how often you resolve MAGNAMHUT, I think it is important that you play this card. There is another option. There is the Bystial Aluba, which is quite a cool card. You can search that off MAGNAMHUT, and that will serve a similar function. And then for the spells, so these are like starters. So we play free Perry Royce Map, I'll talk about this card in a minute. Free Bingo Machine, I'll talk about this card in a minute. And then free Wishes. So like these are your main sort of like consistency cards. So Perry Royce Map basically searches Sage and then it halves your life points. Now, I think there are two kinds of players out there. I think there are people that don't mind paying life points, and there are people that mind paying life points. I'm in the camp that I don't mind paying life points for good effects, simply because I think if you play the game at a reasonable pace and make sure that your opponent is doing the same, you shouldn't be going into time. So yeah, like if you're approaching time, just side this card out. The reason why we're playing Bingo Machine is because this is a big deck. This is a 51 card list. If you wanted to play a list that was closer to 40 cards, which is fine, just cook Bingo Machine, because like it's here just to increase the consistency because it's a bigger deck, and you are going to play 3 Wishes no matter what version of Blue Eyes you're playing. So for the cards that Wishes searches, because it searches a level 1 spell, a level 1 light spellcaster, and or is it a tuner? Level 1 light tuner, and it searches a card that mentions Blue Eyes, so it can search any of these. It can also search Bingo Machine, and then it can also search this card as well. So these are the sort of like main targets that you're going to go for. I wanted to play 2 copies of this card because this is insurance through Bestials, and you actually get punished if you don't play the trap card. So I think you do definitely need to play the trap card. You've got to bear in mind as well that in like if you're not playing the Primite card, you don't have access to Draw Beam. So this is going to be your main out to something like Chaos Angel if your opponent summons it. And then we've got like these are just engine requirements. You never want to see these in your hand. So we've got 1 Blue Eyes. You don't need 2 in the Primite version, to my understanding. The reason why they play 2 is so they can summon 1 off Erratic Seal, and then that way their drill beam is online. Obviously we don't need to do that in this version, so 1 is fine. We've got 1 Mausoleum of White because the link monster searches it and it tells you something like you try and summon 2 sages every turn, and this is how you do it. And then the 1 trap, which is what the maiden places from the deck. So that is it for the Blue Eyes engine. And then onto the Bystials. We're playing 3 copies of Lubellion. Opening this card is amazing. A reason why you would want to cut this deck down to closer to 40 cards is because it increases your chances of seeing this card. Yeah, this card's just great. MAGNAMHUT. This card probably should get banned. I think on the next Forbidden Limited list, this card gets banned, and or Jerusalem goes to 1. Maybe even Baldrake goes to 1 as well, because the OCG, like if we follow the OCG, they have MAGNAMHUT, Jerusalem and Baldrake all limited. But yeah, you're definitely going to play that. And then because I wanted to maximise my Bystial Engine, because we are playing more than 40 cards, and I wanted to guarantee that, like, I wanted to get to regained as much as possible. I wanted to play 3 Saranir. There is an extra deck monster in the extra deck that facilitates this card really well, because it's a level 7 Dark Synchro monster, which means you can synchro with this guy, mill Lubellion, and then you summon Lubellion by tributing the synchro monster. 3 Druisworm, because this is my favourite Bystial. I think it's amazing. It's really good at threatening Detonator. Just deals with a lot of stuff. When you get nibbed, you can summon this off Erratic Seal, link this off into a second Erratic Seal, and then this can send the nib to the grave. It's just very good. And then because we are playing more than 40 and I want to see Bystials, I'm playing 3 Baldrake as well. This is definitely one that you would cut down on though if you wanted to play closer to 40. And then we've got the 1 Regained. This card's just phenomenal. Gets you so much advantage throughout the game. So yeah, that's it for the Bystial package. And then for hand traps, we're playing 3 Fuelos. I think this is just one of the best cards in the game. If you open this going first, you just discard it with wishes, so like there's actually no drawback to this card at all. We've got 3 Nibiru. I think I wanted to play this card because with the release of this deck, I think a lot of people will pick it up and a lot of people will play it badly. And people will just like walk straight into Nibiru and you can just win the game off it. We've got 3 Ghost Ogre as well. For a similar reason, I think people will pick up this deck and people will just play into cards like this because they're not on, like, this might not be on their radar, and 2, sometimes you just can't play around these cards. Hitting the trap card, True Light, with this is very good because it nukes your opponent's whole board. Yeah, and then against like Malice, you can hit Haggard Lizardos with this. You can hit Splash Mage with this, which is quite good. And obviously against Rising Variant, you can hit Duo Drive. So yeah. And then we've got 3 copies of Ash Blossom. This card's okay. It negates more Charmies, which is the reason why I put it in all of my decks. I think it is like, it's an okay hand trap going second though. Negates Duo Drive, which is quite cool. It can negate like Requiem if you don't have a Bystial to deal with that portion of like their engine. But yeah, this card's okay, I guess. And then we've got 3 Veilers. So this card is searchable in the strategy. Sometimes you do search 2 of them on your first turn. So yeah, I think this card's really good. Like, this is a card that you could play 2 of if you wanted to cut the deck count down. And then for the extra deck, I play 2 Erratic Seal. So the reason is because you want, like, I try and make Erratic Seal as my first, like, sort of for like extra deck monster after the link one, of course. And then if you get nibbed, this will summon a Bystial out the deck, and then you can just summon another dragon and make a second Erratic Seal. And then if you summon Druisworm, the Druisworm will get rid of the Nibiru. I play 3 of the link one. The reason is because I'm trying to make Erratic Seal as fast as possible. You do need to sometimes turn spellcasters into dragons so that you can make the Erratic Seal. So like a lot of the time I am using 2 of these on my very first turn, and I wanted a 3rd one for turn 3 because it gives you like the follow-up. And then we've got 2 Spirit Dragons. So in this version I'm not playing Crimson Dragon or any of like the weird Crimson Dragon targets. I use this card much more of a like as a toolbox sort of card, because it can access like this card in the extra deck, it can summon this, or it can summon this. I'm not trying to make double Spirit like ever, because when you do that you play into Nibiru. So yeah. This card's very good as a negate. You got to bear in mind as well that you can actually like put all of these cards back in your extra deck with Branded Regained. So yeah, this card's also just good going second in general because it's a level 7 Synchro and you've got level 6 Bystials and level 1 Tuners. So yeah. We got one of this guy who I can't pronounce his name. I think it's Quibelt. So the reason why we play this is because when you got your Saranir and your Tuner, you can make this guy, and then Saranir will mill Lubellion, and then this will pop a card, and then you can tribute this to summon the Lubellion to get regained. Yeah. And then we got Despater, which you're going to make mostly on turn 3. You can either make it with the Spirit Dragon, because when this big synchro dies, it revives the Blue Eyes monster, so you can summon this back. And then you can synchro your Maiden and this into Despater, and then it's got a good attack stat and it prevents you getting nibbed. So you can like push the game on that turn. And it also lets you special summon back a Light or Dark monster, which means that, like, because usually when you'll banish a Sage from the grave, when you're playing with your Bestials, you can revive the Sage, and then the Sage can go into the Link 1, and then you can like continue your Blue Eyes sort of like line from there. And then we play the 2 fusion monsters. You definitely have to play these. There are cards in the side deck which interact really well with these. This guy being able to set drop cards is ridiculous. And then the target and protection that like this gives is just like completely free, so you may as well play it. And then the experimental card that I've got in the extra deck is Atom. So the reason for this is because you're playing so many Bestials, if you start your turn and you've got 2 Bestials on the board, MAGNAMHUT's a bad example because MAGNAMHUT can just search a dragon, but you can actually overlay 2 of them for Atom, and then you can use Atom to summon out the Seahorse. And then the Seahorse can access your Link 1, and then this Mill's Maiden, and then your Blue Eyes Engine's online, so you can just play from there. And then we got I've got a side deck built. Yeah, so the first card is Phantasme. So I think this card gets a little bit better with the Structured X release as well, because you can put this in against Malice, you can put it in against the Mirror, and then this card actually negates the Drill Beam, which is quite cool. And it's a dark high level dragon as well, so you can actually tribute for this for Lubellion if you want to. We've got 3 Perulia. Honestly, if you're going to play a big deck, I think you could actually main this one as well as Fuelos, just to try and increase your chance of opening one of them when you go second. Got 3 Lancia for the Malice matchup. And then for the going first cards, I've got 3 Thrust, a Sanctum to summon out Lancia, a D-Barrier to call Xyz against Royzy, or like fusions against like Rodex, and then a DDG. What's really cool about this is that if you resolve Thrust on your opponent first turn, and you turn skip them and they don't really have like a good response to it, you can sort of like just win the game just through Tyrant Dragon, because Tyrant Dragon resets traps from the grave, so you can keep turn skipping them. So that's it for the deck profile. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.